employment, skills building, the creative arts and climate and environmental issues, organizing of conferences, seminars, courses, workshops, and other events in the nature of classes in the field of social well-being, emotional and mental well-being, health, education opportunities for employment, skills building, the creative arts. And this is the great part. It says, and advisory consultancy and information services related to all of the aforementioned services, which means that everything was not to be charged. All of this was to be donated and charity driven.
Right. It's very clear.
But you can see the difference between that and what Harry wanted to do.
Yeah. Well, and he wanted to leverage the existing reputation and just make it his own, right? They were going to take it out of country and do their own thing with it.
Yeah.
They
And
wanted
this is
to use that reputation as opposed to their own.
Yep. And this is the lawyer that works with the Royal Foundation as well. I'm just saying. So can we see the difference? And this is why when Dr. Chan, this is why it was approved. Because originally, guys, it was denied. And I can show you that why it was denied when it got denied, because we can see the documents for that. If you want, I can show you that. I mean, it was officially denied. And this is when I guess Harry thought that by getting Dr. Chandauka, she could get this through. Except that when Dr. Chandauka saw what he was seeking, she said, you can't do that.
Yeah. I think the receipts are going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I can show you that. It's all here, guys. I mean, it's all here because you can see when it was refused. It was refused. Let me see. First refusal note, and I'm going to share with you guys. It was on December 18th, 2023. It says it's been refuted. Let me show you that one. So basically, Harry wanted to monetize and ditch. It's my feel is that he wanted to ditch it.
Yeah. Well, he wanted to take it too, though. He wanted to take the reputation. He wanted to take the name. Build a brand himself after.
Yeah. I mean, what do you think, Pat? Oh, Pat, what do you think, Pat?
I had got kicked out.
I didn't kick you out.
I know. I was trying to log in to connect my channel and it kicked me out.
Oh, okay. But you're connected. Lizzie B, thanks for donating a
thank you,
membership.
Lizzie. Wow.
Michelle, thanks for donating $9.99 to PDina. Oh shit, guys, I want to say thank you. When I'm reading stuff, I don't see the communication. So PDina, you have to stay on top of it.
Yeah, I just saw it too. So
and then we have Princess Carol question. Why would H want to trademark Sentebale? Can you take that, PDina?
Okay, so say that one more time.
This is Princess Carol. Question. Why would Harry want to trademark Sentebale?
Well, Harry wouldn't. Meghan would. Meghan would want to do it. If this is all her doing, she's come in and taken over all of Harry's, things, monetizing it. Like I said in my video yesterday, she comes in and sees all the things that Harry's doing, and she's looking at all the things she can monetize around Harry's brand. I mean, she has her own brand, and then she sees what Harry could be branding, and she's taking over things that she thinks she can make money from that's related to Harry. And so she's the one behind all of this. So Harry's not thinking about trademarking anything. He never thought about leaving, I think, to go to live in California. I think alone, I mean, it may have crossed his mind, but Meghan is the person that has implemented all of this. And so Meghan is just trying to monetize all the things around Harry. And Harry falls for it as if, he can make it look like he's the one doing it, but it's not true. It's Meghan doing it. She's taken over everything about this man. So, I think for his own well-being, he needs to start thinking for himself, because this woman is going to get him into a lot of trouble. No doubt. She's doing things that are just not responsible. I mean, who tells people, the Netflix people have them sign NDAs around products that you're selling to consumers? Like, why is that a secret? Why would you want that to be a secret? unless you were doing something that wasn't okay. That's the only time you would want it to be secret. If you are on the up and up about everything that you're doing, you want full transparency. And because she doesn't want transparency, lets you know she's doing something that she knows doesn't look good. And she doesn't care. She doesn't care that she's doing these things that are secretive, because it's about, her just being in her ego and what she wants, and, trying to do it her way, even though the government has things in place to protect consumers. This is the part where I think she's getting in very dangerous territory when she's in the consumer realm of trying to use her shadiness. I mean, you can do that all around your PR, your public persona, but when you start selling to consumers, we have rights and we're protected by the government. And she clearly is not following the rules of the government that are put in place to protect people like us when we buy things. So it speaks volumes, around Megan and what she's doing around everything. I mean, look, she tried to monetize being a member of the royal family until the queen put a stop to it. Okay. So now she's going as far as she can with what she can do with Harry now that he's no longer connected to his own family anymore. That's all this is.
Yeah, this was completely refused in January. This is Sentebale. This was totally refused in January. It has the date there. Can you guys read the date, because I'm without the glasses here. On January 4th, 2024, it was completely refused with the how Harry had it, which it was basically a business. And
Mhm.
can you imagine all those children? Because this is what makes me sick to my stomach, guys. Okay, because this idiot is the kind of man that they would have left the children. We know that they don't donate anything to anybody.
Mhm. Yeah, so I think Megan specifically is really trying to latch onto the high profile of Sentebale as
Mhm.
a way for donations to come in. I mean, like what she did with Invictus, how she's somewhat taken over Invictus and trying to use that to merch her clothing when she's at the games. And so using the high profile status of Sentebale around orphaned and afflicted children around HIV AIDS, she's trying to monetize off of the back of that tragic story, that tragic brand of helping these vulnerable youth. I mean, is that not disgusting? That's horrible. I mean, that to me, I think Megan is the most despicable person. And I'm just surprised more people are not really calling her out around this trademark issue.
Well, it's never mind the trademark, because the trademark is irrelevant. It's at your own risk. If I mean, it's not a smart business. If you start selling products and somebody thinks, "Oh, this is a great," do you know the project that I'm involved in, Pat? That I am,
Mhm.
so I have to. I was forced to sign, and now I am
Mhm.
understanding more why I have to sign a confidential agreement, because if they find out about it, they can copy the thing that we're doing. And
Right.
nothing we
Mhm.
can do. Now I get it.
Yeah, you have to protect yourself because there are a lot of shady people out there who are just looking to steal things from people, and if you don't protect yourself, it will be taken from you. But yeah, I mean, I know what you were saying about the trademark and how, like, but you have to read into, even though at the surface it doesn't look like much, her trademarking all of these things, but there is definitely a motive behind that trademark,
Mhm.
and when you look at what the motive could be, that's when you get deception. That's when you get the side eye. That's when you start looking at, like, what, why are you doing all of these things? And I just am finding it just unbelievable. Really, it's just crazy how this woman is. I mean, we were talking about this woman for a while, and really the true nature of who she is at her core, I'm starting to really peel back what that really look like now. It's not good. Harry's in a world of hurt, I'm telling you. He really is.
Well, you know what? I don't feel. I know you and I are completely different. This I don't feel sorry for him, Pat, at all whatsoever.
I'm
What he's
not feeling sorry for him either, but I know he's in a world of hurt that's going to be coming his way.
oh, good.
I mean, yeah,
Well,
Maybe it'll be
karma.
the wake up call he needs because
yeah,
he's so isolated and whatnot. I mean,
yeah.
just amazing what she's been
Yeah.
able to do.
No, yeah, and the thing is that we're going to show you something here. I'm going to show you something here because, for example, with Sentebale, when Arch one, when Megan tried to trademark it, she got the same thing. It was too general. The terms were too general, so she had to keep amending and amending and amending because the terms were too general. This is why I tell you that it's her behind it because she's that stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So, really quickly, I just saw these some of these other super stickers.
Oh,
just
sorry.
really
Sorry.
quick.
I'm sorry about that, guys.
Okay,
Oh,
Michelle.
Sassy
Oh,
Madeline.
Sassy Madeline. Wow, thank you.
Michelle.
Michelle, my friend, twice, 2 super stickers. Lizzie B.
Felicity.
Lizzie B showing up again with the membership. Thank you, Neely Ford. And we answered the question from Princess Carlisle
Lady
and
Leticia.
Lady Letitia. Oh, hello, Lady Letitia.
Yeah.
That's that stupid stuff. What
Yeah.
is that your name? As ever, hi, ladies. Hello, Letitia.
Yeah.
And Beth Mo McIver. Everyone hit that like button. Yes, everyone hit that like button. Thank you so much,
Definitely.
Beth, and for all the super stickers. Wow, and chats. Thank you, thank you, thank
And,
you.
and I'm going to show you guys why Megan is such an imbecile. And I'm sorry,
Yes,
but that's the only word I can think of, guys.
and she
Because
is an imbecile.
I'm going to show you what needs to happen before. Okay, you make something ready for publication, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they review, they say all the documents are in place. This is what it means, right? And I'm going to show you here. This is the notice, public note. Let me see, change of address. And then we have, this is in September. This is when they fixed everything in June 5th, right? And then in September, after they looked at everything, on July 9th, they published the notice of opposition notice that it's called, guys. Okay. Which has to be on the Gazette. And you can look at all the documents here, guys. I'll show you. This is what they have to do. This is Meghan Markle. They still haven't even published it, just so you know, right? So this is her thing here. This is her thing that you can look at. And this is what happened with Sentebale. That they, on July 9th, they have trademark official Gazette publication confirmation that they have to make it public. They have to make it public. So to see if there's anybody who's going to oppose it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? So Meghan Markle's thing with the as ever, the one with the pancake, because it's not the jam. It's not the jam that she got even published on that she got authorization. So she has to wait for the United States Patent Office to publish it in the Trademark Official Gazette publication for that, because
Yeah.
otherwise she can't. And then they have to wait if they oppose it or not. Okay. So, and then you have, and then they got the IB opposition notice here. Guys, you have all the documentation here, and I do not understand how nobody they had an issue because there was somebody apparently who had an opposition, and I'm going to show you here. See, it says notification of opposition possible. See, this is for the international registration. Because even though in September they were registered in the United States in September 20, I'll show you when they got registered in September 24th. Okay, they got their registration certificate on September 24th, 2024. Here, that's the receipt. See, Pat?
Let's see. Yeah.
That's in September 2024. Sentebale became trademark in the United States.
In the United States, yes. So, okay. So this was after the one that was denied in May.
In January.
Yeah, and in May. Remember from the article from Eden?
Yeah. Well, Eden found out about it in May. And in May is when Dr. Chandauka took over and they changed lawyers and they changed everything. He found out that Harry's thing had been denied and had been having issue in May because somehow it got leaked because Dr. Chandauka took over and changed lawyers. So somehow he found out about it.
Okay. Okay.
But
So that could be the case. I don't remember when I looked at it, but
no, he published it in May. I
in May.
have the article here. I have the article and I will show it
Yeah.
later.
So
But it was
basically, they were still, after they got denied, still trying to go in and find ways to get to that yes, and that's the tenacity of Megan. We know that's the kind of person she is, right?
yeah.
So can you go back to that so we can see just a little bit more who the names on that?
Oh, what, Pat? What do you want? No, Sentebale is the owner. Sentebale is the owner.
I know, but I just wanted to look. I just wanted
Sure,
just
sure.
send it to me.
Of course,
Just send it to me.
of course, please,
I just wanted to look at it a little bit more.
Yes, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, sure. Anything, Pat. You know, you're my boss.
Thank you. Mhm.
You're my boss. What are you talking about? You know, guys, don't be fool. She bosses me around. This here, Sentebale,
Okay.
the United Kingdom, company limited by guarantee. So
Mhm.
that's their address, right? That's their
Mm.
principal register. And basically, it went under the class exactly word for word what Dr. Chandauka had said.
Now, what was the state? Remember, we were talking about the different states. Washington D.C.
It was no, the lawyer. You need what you do need is a U.S. lawyer. So
For the
that
US.
lawyer, you can be worldwide, but you need U.S. representation. So they chose
Mhm.
the same lawyer that set up the Royal Foundation for Prince William. As long as you have legal representation, and I'm going to show you because it's actually quite interesting, Pat. You want to see
Mm.
that document, guys? I'll show you that document because when they change lawyers, it's very serious. You have to like the change
Request
of
it.
address, yeah, and they have to tell you that the guy is in good legal standing
Mhm.
and the serial number and everything. I mean, yeah, I'll show you here by submission. You see, I'll show you because this is serious, guys. And so when you change lawyers, and this is when they changed it. You see, this was May 17, 2024, that they changed to lawyer David M. Abrahams, who is the lawyer for Prince William in the United States. Okay, so
Mhm.
they changed from Harry's lawyer to Mr. David. But look at all of this. I mean, change address or representation form, Sentebale, and owner section is Sentebale by submission of this request. They hide some information here, okay? For and then it tells you his address,
Mhm.
you know, and docket number reference. They had to tell you that he's in good standing. You need to have his email. You can see all of his details here, right?
Yeah.
Everything, and that he's in good legal standing here. That he's a licensed U.S. licensed attorney who is an active member in good standing of the bar of the highest court of a U.S. state, including the District of Columbia and any U.S. Commonwealth or territory.
Okay, so Paula and Emanuela, for you as well. When you look at that, what is your interpretation like on a broader scale? What do you think that means that we have this name registered now under in the states, and the it went through with the attorney, and that's something that this attorney, Williams attorney,
Mhm.
and that's new to me. So what is your interpretation? I'm trying to dig deep onto what we're looking at. Like, what does it mean?
Now,
Why
this
is
is
that?
just before we go. I just want to put this out and see what you guys think because this was internationally. Now, internationally, Sentebale, the charity organization in Africa, whose offices are in the UK,
Mm-hmm.
are globally trademarked. Nobody can use Sentebale for anything that has to do with charity. They can use it for other purposes.
Mm-hmm.
For example, Harry can trademark Sentebale, but it would have to be for commercial purposes, like he wanted to do to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
It would look bad on him, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Sentebale can refute it because they can say, you know what, people can that be very confusing because they might confuse us with this commercial organization. But it's interesting that in March 20th, 2025, when they finally got the legal notice that it was worldwide thing, Harry and the entire board quit on the 25th, 5 days later.
Okay, so so are you thinking under the original purposes of Sentebale being moved over now to commercial for commercial profit? Like what I mean, when you say, and then when you say is Williams attorney, like I'm trying to understand what the bigger picture is. What are you saying?
I don't know, Pat. I just think that I think that Sentebale found out about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
found out, and when Harry couldn't trademark it for himself, he went and said, "Okay, let's get Dr. Chandaukan because he's used to people doing whatever he wants." Right? I'm going to show you here the lawyer. This is the Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and Prince Harry, which was trademarked in the United States, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you who the lawyer is. Okay. So we get this. I just think that maybe Dr. Chandauka saw what was coming and she needed help because she knew this was a shit mess.
So you think she reached out then to
This is
the
the Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and Prince Harry, right? It was canceled. They canceled it because they had included Meghan.
I'm sorry, go back up. I'm sorry, I need to see that again. The Royal Foundation. Okay, so this was in the beginning. Okay, that's with both of their names on there. Okay.
No, and it used to be,
And Prince, yeah, in the beginning before he was married. Yes, I know. Okay.
and then they included when you go to the procurement here, I hear prosecution history on April 4th, they included Meghan Markle in 2019. This is change of name. They included the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. I can show you the document if you
Let
want,
me
but
see. I mean, I don't see it. Wait, where?
it's right here. I can show you the document where
Change of name, address. Yeah, let's see the change of name that has the Sussex name.
yeah, they had it there. This is in April. So I'm going to go to the documents, guys, here. Documents. I'm going to go on April 4th. This is the great thing because you can go here and look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm sorry, it brings you to another thing. Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to go to the other document because it always jumps to another window. So I apologize for that it looks messy. Here. You see, this is on April 4th, 2019. The Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Okay, so that was
April 4th, 2019.
Okay. Now, when did they? Okay,
In November.
2019
And then in November, they killed it that same year.
of 2019.
Yeah. So I knew. So they must have known by November that Harry and Meghan were planning to do anything. And this is after they already opened their own Sussex Royal Craft.
Okay, so they went. Remember when they were on the stage together, the Fab Four?
That's before they got married.
Right, but that was in 2018.
Yes.
Right? Okay. But they knew even at that time, because of what Megan did on stage,
Yeah.
that this
Yeah.
is not going to work out, right? I'm so shocked and surprised that they would even do that the following year.
They were still trying to give her the benefit of the doubt.
Exactly. They were still trying to work with her to make it work out, even though they knew she was trying to derail and go off and do her own thing. Isn't that just crazy? How she just, I don't know. I just can't believe they still would go through all that hassle to put their name on that, knowing that they really did not want to include her.
They were doing it with good intention.
And this is the new Royal Foundation. This is the new Royal Foundation. Let me see. Where's the new Royal Foundation? No, that's not it. Not it. That's the new Royal Foundation that they opened without. That's just the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. And here you have, for example, the owner's information. Is there the Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. They're the ones that the mark information, and this is where I say about the names. Remember when we were having the whole thing that Meghan wants to be Sussex? It says here the names are His Royal Highness William Arthur Philip Louis Mountbatten Windsor, the Duke of Cambridge, and Her Royal Highness Catherine Elizabeth Mountbatten Windsor, the Duchess of Cambridge. So I've done so many videos about this, and people are still saying that she could call herself Sussex. I don't understand it. But guess who the lawyer is?
Who's the lawyer?
David M. Abrahams, the same one that Dr. Chandauka that
So-
took over in May for the whole mess of this thing.
So
he knows what he's doing.
Manuela, so are you thinking exactly what Paul is thinking then about the name for Sentebale and the attorney for William? They've come in and they've kind of taken over, or what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think that they're trying to protect the brand, right? So they've come in that they know what they're doing, so they can internationally sew it up, so it can't be stolen or rebranded in a different way. I think that's the whole plan. I know that, and I go back from my experience. We have an international brand. Our brand is international, but there was a time when there was someone in another country that tried to take the name from us. So we had to physically get a lawyer there and have them have it re-registered, and we had to fight it, right? And it took about a year and a half or so, and now and that's kind of like you can assume that your brand is protected to a certain extent, but in some countries, if you don't actually go to the registrar and register it, somebody else could take it from you. And maybe this is what's happened with Meghan and Harry, that they tried to take it for North America or for the United States, fumbled it. It sent the signal to the real charities saying, wait a minute, we really need to do an international protection here, or at least North America. And then they gave it to the person who knows what they're doing, right? So they're obviously going with the same lawyer and the same protocol. And I think it is a royal charity, right? So wouldn't it default to the Home Office anyways when you think about it? It would automatically default.
It's not a
that
royal
way?
charity. It's not a royal charity
No?
anymore. No, it
Not
used to
anymore?
be. It was set up, by the way. It used to be. It was set up by St. James Palace. It wasn't set up by Harry. Their office is St.
The
James
palace.
Palace.
For him, yeah.
So wouldn't they kind of be the Home Office, and wouldn't they be the ones that basically would say, okay, because we're the original owner or the original concept, from our authority, we will make sure that it's internationally protected?
I think so, Paula. You don't? I think it would default to the original.
No, because we've seen the reports, right? I've shown you the reports of Sentebale from 2009. The first report, it was not founded in 2006, guys. Okay, that's the first. We've seen the documents back that I showed you. The first report was in 2009 because they maybe came up with the idea because of Harry's scandals, and they were trying to erase his thing, and that picture in 2004 went in.
Okay, that's right. Yeah.
The first official, and you guys, Pat, I'd be more than happy to show it. I think I've shown it in other places. That the first report for Sentebale was in 2009. It was St. James Palace that did it. Maybe because it took him a year and a half to get it going, and it was also registered worldwide. It was a charity that could work worldwide. So Harry didn't need to trademark Sentebale in the United States. And I don't know, I may be wrong, but my opinion is that he wanted to trademark it, and we've seen what he wanted to use it for. It was not charity.
So he was changing the scope of the brand. That's why he wanted to trademark it.
And
so he wanted to take it. So he's right. He's just trying to leverage the brand while rebranding it.
Yeah. And he threw charitable in there because he had to. So as not to look bad. But then again, the wording there was that he was going to own the funds that came through. And what would have happened? Okay, what would have happened? And this is for real, guys. What would have happened if Harry had managed to successfully trademark Sentebale in the United States? That means that and I can see Meghan being that fucking mean and saying you can no longer call yourself Sentebale in Africa because we own the word. So you are under. You cannot use Sentebale for the name. And because Harry's the founder, is not going to be in the United States, and we're going to manage because we've seen what Megan's done with Invictus. Invictus has gone to shit.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
But well, he's not even a founder, right? He's just a patron. So
He
people,
he's
are
a patron. He's,
confusing it.
yes, of course. Do you think that Harry, at 20 years of age, snorting coke and all the scandals in 2005, 2006, that guy who Eden had to, he failed the test and Eden had to approve him. Do you think that he had the wherewithal of creating a multinational foundation? Of
No.
course.
No, this is something his family gave him to stay out of trouble. They tried to
Yeah.
make him busy, and they tried to hopefully, spark some interest and purpose in this guy,
And
right?
to whitewash his image. And if you listen to Mr. Ian Rawlinson, guys, he says that when Sentebale Foundation was created, he doesn't say that when Harry created Sentebale, and that his work was very appreciated. So words matter because this man is very smart. So they're both very smart. And I think what
Yeah.
would have happened then? What would have happened? Who would have given Sentebale wouldn't have been able to call themselves Sentebales in Africa. It would have had to be in the United States. Harry hadn't been back in in Lesotho for 5.5 years. Do you think that if he had registered that for commercial purposes and throw in a little paragraph of we are going to manage the money and fundraise it and decide who we give it to, just like Archwell?
That's what he was trying to do, because that's what Dr. Sophie said that he was trying to do.
Right.
So that's where all of this is. This is what it's leading to, and these, I think, are the receipts that she's going to mention. It is so scandalous. I mean, if that's what officially comes out when they have the
Well,
investigation.
you can clearly see because now they're trying to shift the blame that she spent a lot of money in lawyers. Yeah, but you started that, you asshole, Ginger. Sorry.
Yeah.
You know what really bothers me, Pat? That I've
Mm.
heard royal reporters saying that how undignified of Dr. Sophie Chandauka to have to come out. She had to because this man left her no option because he went and he dirtied her up and he has a much bigger platform, guys.
Exactly.
Yes, he
Now,
does.
by going public, she was able to sidestep his profile. She was able to be bigger than what how he comes, because she said it herself. When he comes into the room, people cower down. They don't really have the courage to do anything. Well, I bet you if she goes to the news media and she kind of puts it all out there, then she's raised her profile. She's essentially sidestepped Harry and what he brings to the room, and she's made herself a lot bigger now. And I think, like you were saying, she essentially she had to come out. She had to bring this information forward
I think
because
she was nominated, or I think that she was put there by
by
because
other people.
by the palace. I really
Yeah.
do think because the palace could see where this was going. I got to
Yeah.
tell you. Okay,
Yeah.
I have a sneaking suspicion too. It's almost like, yes, go ahead, you go out
Yeah,
there and
because
do
I'm
it
going
for
to
the
put it
team.
out here. I'm going to put it out here. Prince William, I love you. I adore you, sir. I'm sure that Prince William was keeping an eye on this because he actually truly cares. Because believe it or not, this was created on the memory of his mother. And
that's
he
right.
cares for his mother's memory.
And
And
any
he's not going to let that skanky claw,
okay.
disgusting, smelly, poor dancer of a bad mouth woman with so many fake veneers fuck
do-
off with his mother's legacy.
exactly, because this is the thing. I think with it being in the memory of Diana, we have to always remember William's not going to let Shady Harry go out and do anything in his mother's memory as well. He's going to have his hand in it, whether it's with a public profile or not. He's going to be lurking in the backgrounds. What are you doing? And he's going to make sure that things are not going to go south. And I think that's what's happened here. And this is why she was able to go public. She was able to go public, Dr. Sophie, and she made it known in the way she did, because he has to have his hand in it as well. I mean, it's his mother too. And we can never forget that. It's not just Harry's mother. Really quickly, I had a super sticker from Jan, my friend Jan. I want to say hello, Jan. She sent me one. Thank you so much, dear.
Where is she? Did I miss it?
No, she was under Michelle's name, so she.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you. Sorry
Jan.
about that.
Thank you,
I
sweetie.
believe that William was being kept appraised of all of this and he
Yep.
was seeing what was happening. And you know what? He knew that it was because everybody can see what's happening with Invictus.
Yep.
Everybody can see
Yeah.
what's happening with Invictus. Invictus is a ticking time bomb, guys.
Yep, I said it in my video. It's going to be next. I'm telling you, Megan's got her. I mean, didn't we already hear reports about that? We heard
Yeah.
reports that people weren't happy. The people that are participating in the games, the families, they weren't happy with the new direction of Invictus. The reports were out there, and it's just a matter of time before it happens, where they're going to also be embroiled in some kind of controversy around the charity, the money, the families, all of that. It just makes so much sense that it would be. But I find it also interesting that Megan hasn't said not one thing to support Harry in what he's going through with Sentebale. That girl is.
And you know what? She's the one who created it. She's the cause of it. And then she just, you know what? He's been Jessica Mulrooney'd.
Yeah, Harry. I mean, you look on her. No, she might change it now, but if you go on her Instagram, the only photo she has on her personal Instagram
So her.
is her and Harry, of that old photo of them kissing when on Valentine's Day. I forget when it was for, but like there is, but she'll have photos of the kids behind the behind their head kind of shots, the what do you see kind of a shot. But there is something definitely shady happening with the relationship, as you can see from the Instagram, because if anything, that's where you put things to show.
Well, she started it in 2022. And I said this in 2022. I did the video, guys. I sent you the video. I showed you guys the video. I did a video where I showed my video in 2022 where I said Megan is getting ready to dump Harry. She already has her Instagram account because when I showed it in my video, it had little flowers, peonies, right? And I said at the time, this bitch is Megan because Serena Williams is following her. Why would Serena Williams be following this account? That was my biggest, and people call me crazy. And I said, I know sources have told me that Meghan Markle is already looking for a book. I've shown the clip of the video that I did in 2022, June 2022, and then it comes out that she set up her, it was within 5 years, right? Because she got married in 2018.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion is that she thought that by 2023 she was going to be divorced. She thought that thing with Harry and Meghan was going to be a huge success. Everybody was going to look for her and she was going to be A-lister. Remember how she was saying she was only going to work with A-listers and
only A-list directors.
She's working with Daniel.
The family hasn't kicked her out. Like, I'm really surprised it's actually lasted this long, that she's been able to get away with so much. I'm sure she thought she could only do this for so long.
Right.
Before it would all come apart,
exposed.
but they have a long-term strategy. I'm sure this is torture for them.
Oh, yes. And now I forgot. I know what I wanted to mention, guys. Do you guys remember? Okay, I took it down, but I'm gonna show it to you guys before I remove it. I'll show it to you guys because in USPTO with Archwell, when you have Archwell, when you have the Archwell thing, right? It's not it. That's not the one I want. USPTO and Archwell, it tells you that Cobblestone is the LLC, because if you look at the other ones, they don't put the name of the LLC, right?
Okay.
But on Archwell Foundation, they did. And I was able to look at the Cobblestone thing, at the thing, right? And let me see, it's right here. Mark information, and in the documents you can see that here. Owner, I'm just looking for the owner, guys. Just one moment. Current owner. Here, I'm going to share it with this. And then when you look at this, they created an Instagram account that has that there. Because now when you look at their who owns, for example, the other things, they only have LLC, right? For as ever. Right? So when you go Cobblestone Lane LLC, right? This is the one with Archwell. Okay, and it hasn't been It's a service trademark. They have the actual here a thing here. Okay, so it's registered. But when you look, so I'm going to show you. So she's been around. She's been lying to everybody when she says that they weren't on. It's just that we weren't looking. You know what I mean? So I'm
What?
going to show you her Instagram account there, and it's private, of course. Archwell Studio, Cobblestone Lane LLC.
Haha.
Oh,
Yeah, and when you go here about this account, they changed the name, but it won't tell you which name it was from. They changed the name once. I believe that they changed the name. Megan changed the name here, and it was her account.
so you thought it was gonna? She thought it was gonna be Cobblestone.
Yes, Cobblestone Lane LLC Archwell Studio, but it's of course private. And you can even check who's following her, who she's following. You don't know who she's following
She has a
or her or who her follow because it's completely private. But we know that she had this. This was about this account. This was in November 2020. They were s- they were s- no November. They were already in the no. When did they leave? In 2020, right?
Uh-huh.
And
Yeah.
and so this is in 2020. Yeah, this account because I don't think she closed her Megan account. I just think she made it private or undisclosed. So my opinion is that Prince William got a wind of Harry was trying to use Sentebale or Meghan Markle
Mm-hmm.
to commercialize everything because everything that Meghan Markle touches turns to shit. And they said, you know what? We are, there must be some legal documents because when we go, guys, to Sentebale, for example, when we go to Sentebale Charity, here, I'll show you the Sentebale. We've done the Sentebale thing, right, Pat?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then I'll show you the first uh I can show you. I mean, the thing is that everything is online, and I don't know why these reporters don't look for this. Why haven't any of these reporters reported that Harry was trying to trademark Sentevale for commercial purposes? I don't get it.
Yeah. Well, Richard Eden, he did.
I'll show you what the thing is. So you'll see, guys. This is Sentevale. The first report was in 2009. Here, and when you click on it, did it go to another page, or are you still seeing it? It went to another page.
Seeing the annual report for the
I'm
audit.
gonna, I'm gonna take you to
Student
the other.
download.
I apologize. I'm gonna take you to the other page. Then I'm gonna take you to the report page because this is very old. It's hard to read, so I'm gonna try to make it as. You see the company name? Are you guys seeing it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Valley
see?
financial statements for year
This
ended. Okay.
is 2009. So this was from 2008 to August 2009. So we know that Centevale was founded and approved in 2008, not 2006.
Right. Yeah.
And then you go here, a legal and administrative information. And this is the interesting part. The trustees are Damien. Look who's here. Dr. Sophie Chandauka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and yeah, yeah. She started out as a patron.
Right?
Yeah, but she was a trustee as well
Trustee. Yeah.
No,
at the
yeah.
very
Okay.
beginning.
So I'm sorry. So, but then she became the board chair later in 2023.
Yes, they appoint
Yeah.
her. She was a trustee, but look,
And then
she
she
was
went
there from the
away,
beginning.
And then she
came
left.
back.
Okay. Yeah.
But look who was there from the beginning, Dr. Sophie Chandauka.
Yeah. And she was there. I think you have to mind that on and at a professional level, woman, and Harry was still quite young at the time.
He was still learning how to wipe his ginger ass.
Yeah. So she would have had information going way back, even before she was the board chair,
I
with
think she was appointed. I think she was part of the creation of Sentebale. She was one of the advisors. And then you have
yeah.
register office and principal address, St. James Palace.
Hmm. So she's definitely got the approval of the palace. She's definitely representing the palace, Dr. Sophie.
And Ian Rawlinson.
And yeah, and Ian. Yep.
So I want to see here about Sentebale. I want to see, let's get to see where Harry's names, and you can see the expenditure here, like where they were getting. You don't see Harry's name anywhere.
Nope.
You see Sentebale, you see the trustees, but you don't see Harry. We've looked for this. Remember, Pat?
Yeah.
There's nothing here. The names of Harry and Prince Seiso. I think there's a family Seiso that's mentioned up here. Morena Matsufa Seiso, chief of this. I don't know how to pronounce it, and I don't want to kill that name. I don't want to be disrespectful. Okay, but this is the report. It says accounting and charities issued by the Charity Commission in April. The report has been prepared in accordance. They're just going on here, but here there's no name of patrons here, guys. None. It was St. James Palace who created Sentebale, and Harry and Seiso were named as royal patrons.
After the fact.
And Dr. Chandauka has been there from the beginning.
But she went away for a while, right? Because remember,
yeah, because she's a busy woman, she was studying and all kinds of crap,
But also, I think she did the right thing too. Because when you sit on a board, you rotate out. You don't stay for 20 years or 15 years. You stay 3 years, 5 years. You rotate. Yeah. So there's an integrity to the board, and I think that's also part of what she was highlighting was the fact that these people have stayed for almost 20 years and they're marking their own homework now, and it's not really what it should be.
Yeah, like she says, turkeys don't vote for Christmas. I love that.
Yeah.
So as you can see, there is no note from the founders or anything because they were not the founders. It was, and I don't understand why people keep saying that Harry is the founder of. No, he wasn't.
Well, I think they wanted him to be the public persona of the founder.
Absolutely, the patron.
Yeah, but behind the scenes, as always, they are doing the grunt work. They're doing the legal things, and Harry is not a part of that. And I think when Harry became attached to Meghan, someone who wants to be savvy around, Harry's dealings, putting her paws in his dealings, then, you got somebody who is not really knowing how to do these things because they've always been done for him. So she comes in and she tries to take over and, and the palace is like, hold up, wait a minute, sister girl. We are the ones that are managing in the back end. We're the one managing Harry's dealings, not you, but she's trying to take it over now as the wife, clearly. And that's the problem, because Harry now is in some situation that I think he doesn't really understand, because he's always been as this patron, this person that can just call the shots because, well, my family, he knows has started all of this and done the paperwork, but he's calling these shots. And Dr. Sophie is realizing that, hey, I know the legalities of this. I've been there from the beginning. I know that you're not allowed to do this. It's inappropriate. And Harry's in his big ego with Meghan, thinking that they can just come run roughshod over the charity and its work and what they want to happen, So Harry has just come into his consciousness of what he thinks he can do, because he's older now with Meghan, and he's going to be, I think, mistakenly, he's going to be revealed as somebody who is not going to be allowed to do what he's trying to do. He's going to understand, I think, later that he didn't have the strong arm that he thought he had. I think he hasn't really appreciated the work of the royal family. He hasn't really appreciated what they do when it comes to this very serious, like, filings, the rules, the policies, how you run charities, because that's not something that he would even think about. He's very superficial, I think, in his thinking, because he's a prince.
No, because he's never had to do it. This is why I'm so glad, because I've been yelling at this for years, that Harry has never had to do anything for himself. That when the palace, and I've been saying this because I know Claudia Salas is in love with Prince Harry still. Claudia, shame on you. But it's like the palace was in charge. Every time you saw Harry get in trouble, let's create Sentebale. Because in 2004 was the Eton scandal. In let's not forget 2005, Hail Hitler. You know, that
Mhm.
thing. He has never been. And then, of course, at age 16 with the marijuana thing, that Charles made him go one whole day to rehab or
Yeah.
something like that.
Mhm.
In 2006, the racist things, and I think that it was 2006 the turning point when they decided to create Sentebale, because it took them about a year and a half to create it. And this is why in 2008, when it was created, that's why you have the first report in 2009. But Harry is not a co-founder, not according to the original documents. St. James Palace was the then Prince Charles office.
Mhm.
Harry does To this day, Harry doesn't know how to wipe his little balls. Okay, guys. Uh, but this is what I've been saying. This man has never had to do. And in the Vanity Fair, remember when he was interviewing employees and he was saying, "So what do I do now? What am I supposed to do now?" Because he would come to the palace and say, "I want you to set me up with Obama. When Obama leaves, I want the first interview." And Buckingham Palace would organize it for him. And it's like, this is why who did Obama give the first interview after he left his presidency? Harry.
Harry.
And he was in Canada. He even went to Canada to give Harry the interview.
Yep.
Yeah. He had a very big reach. He had a lot of power, but he's trying to do
He's used to
something.
that. He's used to that.
He's
So
used
can
to
you,
being a spoiled brat getting his way, but now
just
he's
like
in an
Megan,
institution.
just
Yeah,
like
well,
Megan.
Just like
exactly. Well,
Megan.
they raise monsters, right?
I,
Mhm.
They just
I
raise
have to
kids
ask
who
you.
have no boundaries.
I have to ask you, ladies. Megan, to me, seems like she's in the discarding stage, at least since 2022. But I think that things didn't go as well as planned in 2022 with the Harry and Meghan shit. So she had to stick around even longer. But
Mhm.
do you think in her mind now that, because why isn't Netflix distributing her product? Shouldn't they have been the first ones didn't they pay her the big bucks to distribute her products
Yeah.
according to everybody?
Yeah.
I, I
And
think they don't have a plan. This is why
yeah.
they're not distributing anything. It's probably such a mess. Like the products are not ready. Nothing's ready. The labels aren't right. She's probably undermining herself constantly because she wants to be in charge and so famous that she's her own worst enemy. Like at this point,
Mhm. She really is.
she's got all that opportunity. Can you imagine you, me, any one of us who we've worked our lives or whatever, someone gives us opportunities like this, we'd be right there walking through the door, working it, rolling up our sleeve, making sure everything is ready, and to
Mhm.
to to fulfill that, because we understand, we're grateful for the opportunity. She's almost like she disparages every single opportunity given to her. It's like the opposite reaction and the
Yeah.
opposite motivation. It's just mind blowing, and you can take something as beautiful as a charity or something that's doing good, and then you see the potential. You say, well, that's money for me. Let me
Yeah.
steal that,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
let me ride on that coattail because I'm so deserving.
Mhm. That's exactly how I see it.
And then he's going to the UK next week. And I've been saying this. If you go to my earlier videos, people have asked him why he wants the protection, why he's fighting so hard for the protection. It has
Oh,
nothing to do with IPP. What it has to do is with the following. Harry wants to set a precedent that if he says you have to have security in the United Kingdom, then he's going to say, wait a minute. If you said that I need to have security in the United Kingdom, you need to provide security for me elsewhere. So he wants the UK taxpayers to give them bodyguards for life, like he had.
Yeah.
Because he's going to say, wait a minute. So I'm not only facing danger in the United Kingdom, because this is the kind of man he is. He's just as bad as Meghan, as persistent, because he wants it for status, and also because he's cheap and he is paying for the security. But if
Mm.
he gets the security that he wants, then because you give a mouse a cookie, he will want a glass of milk. Then you have to give another cookie. Then if he does get that, then he's going to say, "I don't just need it in the UK. I also need it in the US." And then he's going to start a fight with the courts to get bodyguards, and the UK taxpayers are in charge of that.
Yeah,
That's
they're gonna have
US.
to pay.
with
Yeah.
the
And I wanted to show
status,
you
he
something.
he also gets like with the status is not just security, right? Because with the IPP status, also there's confidentiality and
No, no,
privacy.
no, 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 no,
No.
no. The IPP, no, guys. The IPP status it can be anybody, really. It can be somebody that you never even heard of. It doesn't have to be a public person. It could be somebody in a diplomatic status. It could, you know what, even in the private sector. It depends. IPP status is a high-ranking individual within its field that can face risks depending on his profession or her profession. Okay,
Mhm.
and that one, it's not IPP, it's not VIP. It's internationally protected person. For
Right.
example, the president of the World Bank, or like people like that.
Mhm.
Or I worked once with somebody who's not, it's not even major, that you wouldn't even know his names or anything, but they were IPP because of the nature of their work. They were high level negotiators, and because their names were in certain documents that people can get because they were negotiating in really, really delicate situations. They create a lot of enemies because of the things and the place that they went. So they become IPP. So you don't have to be famous, you don't have to be royal. It's just the nature of what you do that causes danger.
Mhm. Mhm.
For example, Victoria Beckham is not an IPP, but she's a celebrity, which is what
Right.
Harry is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me give you an example. Zara Tindall. She's not an IPP, yet she is the niece of the King of England, the
Yes.
daughter
Mhm.
of the Princess Royal. But she's not an IPP. She does not have bodyguards. She travels everywhere, and she's not an IPP. Eugenie and Beatrice are not IPPs,
No, they don't have the bodyguards.
and the ones that they have were paid for by the Queen, and I think that now Charles is paying for it. But but you know what I mean. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
and even when Eugenie and Beatrice were fifth and sixth in line before, because their bodyguards were taken. This is what people don't know the history, guys. When Eugenie Radek took security away from Eugenie, tax funded security from Eugenie and Beatrice, when they were fifth and sixth in line to the throne, where Harry is right now. And I
Yes.
remember Prince Andrew made a stink about it out there, and then the Queen said, "Fine, I'll pay for it," but then they can't be traveling because they were partying all over the world and they were costing the taxpayers almost
Yeah.
£2 million. So that's why Radek said, "We can't do this." They're not even, the threat level is not there now.
Right.
And this is a legitimate question that I'm going to put out to you guys. If you see a busy highway and you go stand and walk back and forth without any care and you get run over, do you think that you deserve anything? Because that's what Harry's doing with himself by putting 25 people that he killed at the Taliban, the way that he's creating hatred around himself in
Mhm.
order to say, I am a hated person and therefore I need to be protected. Then you know what? Change your skanky ways.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly.
Change your skanky ways. What do you guys think of that?
I think absolutely. I think Harry has just put himself in a predicament to heighten his threat level, but it was of his own doing. And I don't know that it's at that level still. I mean, that just remains to be seen whether or not they're, what he said about the Taliban is still something that they're thinking about. But he's the one that chose to write a book. He's the one that put himself in that position. So I don't think he should be afforded anything because of his own doing. If he were to just shut his mouth and just been a regular person, there would be no threat level for him at all. I mean, I don't know if there still would be, but I don't think it's at the level where he needs to have that kind of protection.
Yeah, and it's funny because I'm showing this, guys, because I've heard some people saying that Mr. Ian Rawlinson has nothing to do with William, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see his name is here. I hope I'm not pronouncing his name horribly. Ian Rawlinson. This is the Tusk Trust for Prince William, who is in Africa. He adores, this is one of his things, right? He's in the Development Board Advisory. He's an honorary vice president still.
Mm-hmm.
He was a chair from 2014 to 2020, but he's still present in the task trust. And I want to show you guys because we're going to leave with this because this is funny. This is Megan. Um, Here. Megan. before our launch for Us Ever Official tomorrow, I can't go to sleep without giving a huge thanks to the fellas who have been with me on every creative endeavor for over a decade plus. We know I love my girl squad. I mean, um, Jake Rosenberg, who was allegedly one of her former lovers, Daniel Martin, and I
Wait
don't
a
know
minute, who was one of her former lover?
Jake Rosenberg. Haven't you seen her with
Hold
him
on,
in
hold on,
Instagram?
hold on,
And you
hold
took
on.
pictures of her naked and everything. I'll send them to you.
Yeah. I mean, I just didn't. I think I know who you're talking about. I mean, by name, I don't.
His name is Jake Rosenberg. That's him here.
Okay.
That's him, Jake Rosenberg. See, he's the one who takes pictures of her. But all
Okay.
you have to do is go look at pictures very early on. He was taking naked pictures of her, spending time with her in New York before he got married, and it's like, oh, I don't know what I'd do without you. It's all these things. Now he's married with 2 children and stuff like that. But if you look at his page here, he's photographed some people. But if you go way back, and I'll send you the pictures. I mean, there was something going on with him and Meghan Markle.
Yeah.
So she managed to get a hold of him because through Soho House as well, because he was friends with Marcus Anderson, because he was photographing a lot of very important people. But the interesting thing to me is that she doesn't thank her husband, because thanks to her husband, she's able to have Netflix, because Netflix wouldn't have.
Right. We know the
And look at
deal.
this bit. Look at this. Thank you for being the best partners through thick and thin. Harry was, I mean, you know what? I give Harry a lot of flack, but he has come out and defended this skank to the end of the earth. He has abandoned every privilege that he's known. He's abandoned, betrayed, trashed his own family, defending this ugly looking chicken leg bully. And,
Mm-hmm.
and she doesn't even thank her husband for anything.
Yeah. It doesn't even. I mean, the signs are there. The signs are there for sure.
Oh yeah, Megan. And this is her cooking. I don't even do this with city guys. I don't grab a dog while I'm
Not in
cooking.
my kitchen. No.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah. I saw when she did. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It's like with the dog. Why would you be carrying a dog? And look at that, putting her nose over the food.
I
Megan is
think.
really ugly. I really think, I've been looking and trying to look. I don't know what she's done to her face, but she looks ugly. Look, there she goes where the food is cooking with the hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You have to. Yeah. Keep animals out of your
And
kitchen.
here is the label. There's nothing on either side.
Yeah, it's a mock up.
Look, on this side, there's nothing. So I have to ask you guys, why do you think nobody's talking about this, Pat and Manuela? Why do you think everybody's just focusing on the website?
I'm still trying to see the full. I know we didn't see it on both sides, but I'm still trying to see the back of it. I'm still trying to see the
There's nothing in the back. It's just the side that closed there, and then you have the red thing.
the thing. Okay. I just, yeah, I doubt that she has it because of what she's done. I just think I would like to see, and this reminds me, I did get some jam from American Riviera Orchard sent to me. This spam jam was sent to me.
You mean spam jam?
This was some American Riviera scam jam. I'm sorry, that came to me, and it was
Scam jam.
Scam jam was sent to me, and this is interesting because it was from this Penelope lady, and it's for a oh shoot, do I even have it in here? I grabbed it so quickly, but I was sent this spam jam. And here it is. 100% of all net proceeds benefit the wagsandwalks.org. arscamjam.com. So they sent me some. This is the plum gargler. I've never had this before, but this is what I got. So thank you to the people that sent me this scam jam.
That's so funny. That's so cute.
By the way, you're asking me about this is why Manuela knows a lot about labeling, and I know too because she knows for skincare. I know it for food. But this is the skincare I use, guys, and all of I will leave the link at the on the video description and on the pinned comment later when we're done, because you have to go to her to hear her things are fantastic, and you just start with building your routine where you take a quiz and then you say what you want, okay? And right now you have 30%. Happy National Vitamin C Day.
On vitamin C products. Yeah, it's vitamin C day. We
I
need
just
vitamin C.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
we
this
do.
is
Yeah, it's at least you'll get your vitamin C that way. You won't, and maybe from the scam jam, but probably not from the other. I think maybe part of what she's doing is a mock-up. We're looking at the photographs there for isomers, right? Looking at the products.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes we do mock-ups, like we don't have the actual product. Say, for example, we're launching April 1st, and we have a photo shoot 2 weeks before, and the labels are late. Then we have a mock-up one. It's not the real one. Maybe she's doing a mock-up, but somebody's got to have the real product, and maybe that's why there is no real product.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. These are mock-ups, and this is why everything looked like it was sold out, because she can't sell it yet, like to the consumers, because it's not legal yet.
Unless you wake up, like the only way you can make a product that quickly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Paula, but either she's getting somebody else's recipe and just sticking their label on it, but starting from scratch, there's so much that has to be done and
no,
registered.
no. Okay, what I think she's doing is the following. The problem, and I said this about a week and a half ago, Pat. I told you, I think you and I had this conversation 2 weeks ago that I heard that she was having issues with the FDA because she's refusing to say where the products are being manufactured. You and I have Pat and I nagged Pat to death, guys, because I said that is a big no, because she has to notify
You have
the
to.
FDA by law,
Yeah.
especially in the United States, guys. You know, and I told you, Pat, that I heard through a contact about 2.5 weeks, almost 3 weeks, that she was having issues with this because she's refusing to say where she's getting their products from. And the only reason why she's doing that is probably because she's getting them from some place that is very cheap and
Yeah,
disgusting, and she wants to sound posh
yeah,
because the image that she's selling is that she's posh.
very
So
popular.
out of vanity, if you find out that this is coming from a place that is like probably costs like 50 cents and is not as posh as she says it is, then the whole image, with the unveiling of the thing and then the keepsake. So she's doing it in her mind because she doesn't want people to know how cheap that thing is. But she can't do that because
Or
this is
how illegal it is, because you have to, in food you have certain certifications and certain requirements. They have to come and look at your facility. They have to approve your facility. So this
Yeah.
is also why the FDA wants to know whose facility are you using to make this product. We're not
Mhm.
asking you for the recipe. We just want to make sure the vats that you're using, the machinery that you're using, everything is to code,
Mhm.
and that it's properly ventilated, it has the right
yeah,
water coming in, has the right cleaning procedure, has the
yep,
right
yep,
batching
yep, yep.
procedure. When you put a batch number on the back, like what we do too,
You
we
have
have a
to.
certain
You
batch
have
number. That's what they want. And so you can't say NDA to FDA. They're going to
No, you
say,
can't.
no,
No, you
actually,
can't.
that's what
You
we need
can't.
to know.
No,
Mhm.
Yeah,
you
we
it's
need to know this.
mandatory. It's mandatory. Yeah, yesterday Patty was saying to me, Pat thought she was going to put a one up on me. She goes, Paula, let me look for this product because not all of them. It's actually something that looks very yummy, Pat, and I'm going to order it. That
Ugh.
popcorn thing, that
Oh yeah.
popcorn pancakes. Guys, they make these things, pancakes from popcorn, right? And
Oh.
apparently it's very posh because Pat is posh.
Ah.
So and then Pat says to me, well, look at this. This doesn't have any. And then I go and I look down. Yes, it does. And then she goes, oh, yes, it does.
Yeah, it does. And there was a different one I was looking. I can't remember which one it was, and I couldn't find it anymore after that. I was like, okay, I must have been hallucinating or something. But yeah, I'm always playing devil's advocate to Paula. I'm not gonna let her just tell me something and believe it. I'm
No,
gonna
and
do
You
a
I'll
need
little
tell you, no,
research.
no,
all the
no, no,
sides,
but
all the
I'll tell you
perspectives. You
because
got to
I
see
had
what's
to
going
learn the
on.
hard way.
Right.
I had to learn the hard way, guys, because when I started you've seen my things, Pat, in agriculture.
Hmm.
I had nobody. I had no lawyers guy. So, and I'm not even techie. So I had to get on the website and then you're phoning USPTO. I said, can you please help me? And then thankfully, I have my friend Paola in Miami who registered the company in the United States online, and of course, she's very savvy. And then she helped me with the trademark and stuff like that. But I mean, when I was in order to for my products, in order any if you're going to bring any products into the United States or even manufacture in the United States, the facilities have to be FDA approved, which means it
Thank you.
need, I have a friend of mine because I used to hire the only manufacturing and processing plant here that was FDA approved for the United States, and it cost a fortune. So I said, "Fuck that!" I said, "I'm going to do my own little thing. I don't need a big thing, right? It doesn't have to be fancy. You
No.
just have to meet the legal standards." So I said, "I have this 40 square meter thing." And then you go to the U.S. Embassy, you organize it, and then they tell you what you need to do. For example, and I told this to Pat yesterday that we were talking. I wanted to because I didn't have any money. I had no money, guys. And then my friend had a processing plant for fish. She's a millionaire. So she exports fish everywhere, and they freeze it and everything. And she had a space right next to it, right? And Laura, her name is Laura. She goes, Laura, you can come here, Paula. I'm not going to charge you. Just make yourself at home. And I was happy. And then I was told that I couldn't because of the proximity to the fish thing. There's so many. You cannot have, for example, garbage disposals within 20 kilometers. That's how things are, like, guys. And then you have to have certain, and this is just for cleaning fruit. This is not even
Yeah.
for processing the
Even
jam.
how you dispose of the water that you're using, it has to have its own. It has to have its own path, and you have to have own treatment. And there's so many things you have to,
So,
be aware of.
so Meghan Markle should be. If Meghan Markle is, let's say, this is just my take. She is hiring a company that produces raspberry jam en masse, and she's just buying and putting her label on it. That's all she's doing. This is not even her recipe. This is probably somebody that they sell to maybe in Walmart because they do that with me. They would send me their labels, guys, but it was my fruit, you know. So she's doing that in a lot of countries. They come to third world countries because it's cheaper. The labor is cheaper for the processing plants, and then they just ship it. Everything, even packing the boxes, everything. So my take is that she's just getting a generic taste of her jam, and she's just putting it a label on it, and then she's charging you $14 for something that probably cost her like
Yeah.
one and a half, and this is because of the glass.
Yeah. So
That's it.
I would think that's it.
And
She
she's
doesn't want people
refusing
to know
to
where
say.
she's getting it because then they would blow the whole deal, right? But you
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the FDA, there's no way they will. It will be out of compliance if she does not disclose who her manufacturer is and the facility, because that's all. They don't care about the rest of it. They want to make sure the facility is meeting the requirements.
And this is how you know she did not really sell out. Like she just didn't.
She legally can't, because if somebody were to consume something and it's something that happens to somebody,
Yeah.
or that, because it has happened. This is why you have FDA, where you complain, or food has been recalled or badly processed. Maybe her raspberries were too bleached or whatever, because she's refusing to say what's there or which manufacturing, or anything. So that is dangerous. Nobody asked if you would eat it, PDina.
If I would eat what? Her
Making it jam.
No, absolutely not. I'm not eating it. I don't know nothing about that stuff. She She
And one thing we should leave on this serious note here, because we're going to be in for a while now. Um, um, what do you think of Sentebale now that you see what Harry tried to do to begin with? I believe that the palace intervened because I don't believe that Harry's the co-founder, and neither is Prince Saiso. And the palace got involved because when they got wind of he's trying to trademark Megan, because I believe this is Megan, was trying to trademark Sentebale for downloadable records, for this, for that, all for commercial purposes. And they interfered and put Dr. Chandauka back in business, along with Mr. Ian Rollison, who's still one of the most trusted aides to Prince William, and they're using Prince William's lawyer in the United States. That's just my take. But what do you think?
That's what I believe.
I think it makes a lot of sense. I mean, putting her in place, and they did it strategically, so they already could see it was going to happen.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
they knew this was going to happen when they put her back in. So this is, I mean, we're seeing it now, but they've probably seen it for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Pat,
And
who do you think? Who do you think sent the messages? Because apparently it wasn't according to Palace Confidential. That wanker of Alex Rayner, he wasn't that he talked to Harry face to face. Apparently there were text messaging.
Mm-hmm.
So do you? And why would he be calling a man H? That's
Right.
makes
The way the verbiage didn't seem like it was coming from him. It didn't seem like he wouldn't call Harry H.
no,
that's
well,
so
it's weird.
bitchy. Oh, it's because she's jealous of another woman of color. Which color
Yeah.
is
Well,
Megan?
we know who wrote all of that.
Yeah. We're not
Which color?
stupid.
What color is this woman talking about? You know, it's like
Right.
quit blackfacing, Megan. And I know you watch your channel.
Yeah.
And one of the things that you said in your channel, by the way, if you're viewing this live on my channel, go to PDINA'S and subscribe. Go to Isomers. See, also Manuela has a YouTube channel, Isomers, but also I'm not wearing any makeup. No, I am lying. I'm wearing a little bit of eyeliner for you guys,
Mhm.
Beautiful.
and but that's it. So her products are amazing, and so please go Isomer. I'll leave the links and stuff like that. Do you think that Dr. Chandauk is going to win?
Absolutely. She's a professional woman. She's a lawyer. She knows she's not prepared to have her evidence, her receipts, because this is a woman that's a lawyer, a professional woman. You know, she's seen things. She had to speak up. She had to, I think she was by the palace. She's within their, circle to go forward with what she's gone forward with. So absolutely. I have all the faith in the world in her.
Do you think that Megan tried to kick her out? Do you think that things started to go wrong when finally Dr. Chandauk managed to trademark it in September last year? Because that's when things really started to go bad. When when she managed to successfully trademark Sentebale, I can imagine Megan saying to Harry, "It's yours. She shouldn't be making that. She shouldn't be doing this. Kick her out."
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
see
I
that?
can imagine that.
That's the
Mhm.
conversation for sure.
Oh,
You-
absolutely.
For
And
sure.
and
That's the conversation.
and Pat, I saw your video yesterday that you said that the people eating them cookies with flowers are for pigs and or rabbits or something
Oh,
like
Yeah,
that.
so some people were seeing that flowers on food. Yeah. They're crazy. I saw that on X. I was like, and they look just like the guinea pig and rabbit treat food. So, but then people were saying in the comments that yeah, you can buy these as well. You can buy flowers on food that are edible.
yeah.
I don't know I've never seen that for people, but I think it's very interesting that it's a treat for these animals. So to me, I just think, where is that being done? How is Megan creating her edible flowers for the food? All the more so we want to know, because we're not even seeing where the jam is made, right? So why can't where would the flowers that she's putting on food be made? That I would,
Elevating them, Pat. She
yeah,
said,
elevating
It's
things.
elevating.
Yeah.
You know, my family, my husband's family, they're Persian, they're Iranian, right? So there are dishes we
"Oh,
make.
cool."
Yeah, there's
Mhm.
dishes we make. I'm Italian, but there are dishes that we make with rose
When I see
petals.
you, you have to cook for me.
We
So
do a lot. We use rose petals and we use
Okay.
these kind of flowers. But honestly, when we're doing it in a recipe or a dessert or whatever, I mean, you can get a lot of rosebuds and rose petals that are edible, but they're under $5. Like, I mean, these are not expensive. I mean, you can look them up,
yeah, yeah.
you
She's
know,
trying to make it an exclusive thing.
because nobody knows. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But can you imagine these people the day that they announce that they're leaving, they already dropped Sussex Royal in the United States trying to trademark it, and the Queen
Mhm.
Yeah.
probably went of it and said, "You cannot use Royal, you bitch." Well, I'm sure the Queen who had
Paula.
the late Queen was, of course, a lady. You know, she didn't say
Yeah,
We
that.
don't
I'm
know.
sure she thought it.
Maybe she rightfully so could say whatever she wanted to say at that
Yeah,
age.
I am
yeah.
sure that the Queen was thinking it.
Yeah.
You know, I can imagine the Queen keeping things to herself, but in her mind, I can see her. Did you know that Princess Diana used to swear a lot?
Yeah, I heard that.
No, no,
Mhm.
no, she did it. And she was caught once because she was trying to be like the rest of the people and not having to go through like, the VIP section. So the people were chasing her. And then at one point they're following her, she goes, "Oh, I'm a fucking princess. I'm just gonna go to the VIP." It's like,
Wow.
I have that little clip that I've been keeping going. And she's like, you know how they're chasing her? And then the guy goes, but
Yeah.
you know, we're going to take you here. You wanted to come commercial. And then she turned to the guy, oh, I'm a fucking princess. Just take me to the VIP.
Isn't that something? How she, oh, Diana, just gotta love her.
Really miss her.
Real.
And, you know, I've seen so many clips that are so funny. And, you know,
Mhm.
I just want to take the time to thank our community, guys, because Dr. Chandauka, and I know people say, oh, because I heard some assholes say, oh, people are even saying that she's working for William. She's not working for William. I do believe that William is involved somehow because this is the memory of his mother. I believe that this is not Harry's charity. This guy doesn't even know how to wipe his own ass, let alone create a worldwide charity. He tried to trademark it and he failed.
Mhm.
And I think that they decided to trademark it to prevent them from trademarking it.
I agree.
Okay, now just really quickly though, Michelle is making a good point because you know King Charles is trying to really take up for Harry, and there's conflict
Yes,
because
yes.
William and I think the King are like in opposition around what to do. So that's a good point, Michelle. And I think,
I have talked about it
yeah,
because
yeah.
yes,
Wait and
because there's a big thing between Charles and Prince William. This is why
yeah.
Prince Williams has separated lawyers. Guys, when these things happen, I mean, these things are happening. You know, Prince William kicked out Camilla's sister, who has been smooching off at Cornwall, you know, the Duchy of
Mhm.
Cornwall. He kicked out her son, and their daughter, who was also, they all had jobs at the Duchy of Cornwall, and they were living in beautiful cabins there. I
Mhm.
think Prince William, and I'm going to cry about it. One of the first acts that he's going to do when he becomes king is he's going to give back his mom the HRH, even posthumous, you know?
I believe so too.
Yeah, I do. I really do believe that he will. It makes me want to cry.
Yeah. Sad that
Yeah.
he took it from
Yeah,
her.
it's very sad, you know. And I think that he's fighting for his mother's memory because, you know,
Mhm.
and he's fighting for the children because he does care. He has kids. People
Yeah.
forget that. You know what's the beautiful thing of Prince William? And you know that I criticize him when I have to, is that he worked saving lives. And
Yeah.
he worked in ambulances
Yep.
and
Yeah.
he was like, he would see some things, you know, when he would go and like kids were dead or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
like, and then he would go home and he would be completely destroyed, you know, and he's very humane that way. So you can see that he wants to improve everything. He wants to work saving lives.
Yeah.
Harry wants to kill everything, and that bitch of his wife, skanky wife, has destroyed everything.
Yeah, she's really trying to destroy a lot of the goodwill, I think, that the royal William is trying to do. And thank goodness that he is that tenacious about, you know, doing his work, because otherwise Meghan could run roughshod all over, you know, everything, because Harry will let it happen because he's so ignorant, so klug about so many things.
How racist he is to you, you know, his race and Meghan's racism, because that
Hmm.
video of Meghan ignoring Dr. Chandauka, and as I
Oh,
said in my video, it ended with that clip at night. But Pat, you and I have you
Oh,
have
yeah,
shared
he
it
shared
too.
it.
That it
Hmm.
started in the morning.
Yeah,
And I'm
she
gonna
didn't
share
quit.
another clip. I'm gonna share another clip that I'll send it to you too, Pat.
Hmm.
When Meghan is leaving, Harry's coming to pose for pictures. They don't even look at each other, Harry and Meghan. I'm gonna send you that interaction. Uh,
Okay.
when she's getting her pictures taken, and we see Dr. Chandauka come up, right? But
Uh-huh.
before Meghan is leaving, Harry's just coming. They don't even look at each other.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's see that.
Oh yeah,
Let's see.
you'll see.
Let's
But
see that.
so thank you to the community for supporting us. What do you guys think? Do you
Yeah.
think that the FDA should get involved? Do you think that it was right that Harry tried to trademark Sentebale? Thankfully, he failed. Sentebale,
mhm.
the palace found out about it, and I believe the palace interfered. I don't know what
Yeah.
you guys
I
think, but
believe that. And I want to thank Chrysler One Hastings for your super chat. Thank you for doing this. Really appreciated it. They said so. Thank you very much. And I think we should continue following this because we know we have the investigation from the Charity Commission. I'm curious to see their findings, and I just hope at some point Megan is going to be called out in a very big way for all the backhanded things she's been doing behind the scenes. She thinks she's slick, but she's not. She's
But you know
not.
what I think? I don't even think she's slick, Pat. You know what I think it is? I think she's psychotic. You know how psychopaths don't care? They
Yeah.
come and they kill. No, for real.
No,
They,
really,
Oh,
for
for
real,
real,
for
I think
real.
you're right.
they kill,
She's
and then they go.
delusional,
And
psychotic.
they
Yeah.
don't even think about it. They don't even think about it. I just killed you,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
slaughtered you, and then they walk away and they're going eat an ice cream somewhere, you know,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
forget about you.
Because
Harry,
they
you
can't
better
see
watch
the
your
ugly
back.
they're doing.
Yeah, and this
You
is
know?
Megan. So I want to thank the community because this is an important point, the FDA thing, but mostly Sentebale. I am glad that Dr. Chandauka managed to trademark Sentebale for Sentebale
Mm-hmm.
for charitable purposes. So that skanky, chicken-legged, cheap weave, cheap veneers. I'm sorry, Manuel, I know you're a lady. You know, chicken-leggy
But I
claw.
can
Can
see
get
it.
her
I
hair
can see it
done.
in my mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
Megan doesn't want to be in a room with me. And you know, one of the things I want to ask you that has been bothering me, and I'm sure people also here on the chat when I point this question are going to want to know, why are people afraid of this woman in the United States? Why? Why are they? I understand it in the UK because of the royal family and blah blah blah. And yeah, and horrible skin, she would benefit from Manuela's skincare. Um,
Mm-hmm.
why are people in the United States still signing NDAs? Because it's illegal for her to make them sign NDAs to keep secret food where food products are being made. That is
Mm.
illegal.
Okay, so if you are working for Megan in her circle and she made you sign an NDA, go to an attorney. You don't have to do. You didn't have to do that, and come speak to me. I'll talk to you. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, don't be
Well,
part of something that's not good for people. It's not good.
Right.
don't buy anything. Do
agree to
not
be inquisitive.
buy.
Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't be drinking this because Cristiano Ronaldo hates Coca Cola.
Ah,
And I
that's
know,
right. He wants water instead.
I know he wants water instead, and he scored 2 goals yesterday. I almost peed myself watching him score 2 goals yesterday. So
Mm.
your husband would know about it, Pat. You know, I know you
Oh,
don't
good.
feel,
Okay.
but tell him that Cristiano scored 2 goals yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Well, but even Coca Cola, look, I mean, but I've shown the cheaper things, you know, with
But
cheaper
you'll
jams
see
that
in
they
the
have.
legal line who to get in touch with, what their number is, their postal, their zip code. There's always an address. There's always some place for consumers to be able to go and to advocate or ask questions about the product. So her label's not complete. The
No, and
regulations are there for for our own safety, but it's the right way to do it. And this is not just here; it's all over the world. There's packaging all around the world conforms to
Mhm.
certain things, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to leave you with this. If Harry had managed to trademark Sentebale, do you know, for all those royal commentators who are saying that Dr. Chandaka should be more dignified, they didn't say that when Harry issued the statement. Harry should have been dignified and keep his mouth shut. But they're criticizing Dr. Chandauka for defending her reputation against the man who has a much larger platform and who's literally defaming her. She has had to change homes because of the death threats. And
Exactly.
you and I have faced that, Pat. We know
Mhm.
what
So
that is
yeah,
like.
good for
Okay.
Dr. Chandauka. We are with you, sister girl.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's got to be strong.
But can you imagine what they would have done to all those children? We know what he did to Kiki or
Mhm.
didn't do for Kiki. You know, the little
Yeah.
girl that he abandoned.
Yeah, he abandoned her. Yeah, and he was supposed to have done so much for her, and he just forgot about her. The
It's all
things
that
of the church.
gaslighting. This is what I'm going to do. Da da da. Then
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
yeah.
action, zero action, right?
Zero action because
No,
his heart's not really truly in it. I don't think
No.
he really has the heart. Yeah.
no, and people should. I hope that the mainstream media starts calling this out. Now that I mean, no, we know we're small YouTubers or whatever, but we're putting these documents. They're online. Go to the USPTO, and you can see all the documentation. You can see the thing, and then you can see the documents that were signed, when
Mm.
it happened, how it happened. Megan had already on January 8th, like 4 or 5 trademarks of Sussex Royal for bed linens, for recordings, for cameras. Royal Sussex Charities that sold T-shirts to raise funds for I don't know what, you know. So
Mhm.
this is a woman who was planning on just exploiting people's pain and a title, and who's still doing it, by the way.
And still doing it. Yep.
So thank you very much, and I'm gonna leave the link for Manuela and the link for PDINA. Go and donate to her charity. Go and donate to her charity. She is working with kids that need help in the United States. She's educating children, giving them an opportunity, not to get out of the hood, kind of thing. Um, oh, me too, me too. Oh, Meghan Markle, you know what? Just leave Meghan Markle with me for half an hour, or with PDINA, you know. So, so what would you do?
Oh my goodness. Yes, yes,
What would you
yes.
tell to this woman, Pat? What would you tell to this woman? What would be your words of
I
advice?
don't know. I don't know. I would probably I always try to see the good in people. I really do. But I
Ah,
know that's bad. That gets me in trouble every time. It really does. So
But she's had a
so what
lot
would
of
you say?
time to
Okay,
show
okay,
us her
okay. What
good.
would you say to
yeah.
this woman? What would you say to this woman? Okay, what would you say to this woman right now, knowing what you know?
Well, I kind of did when I went to the Madame Tussauds. I saw her and Harry's statue, and I went up to her statue and I started shaking my finger, yelling
Yeah.
at her. It's on camera. It's in my member Patreon videos. I did do it.
That's funny.
But
But I mean, you can't. You know what, Pat? And this is something that is we all know this. You can't make somebody care.
I know you can't. You can't.
You
You
can't ask pigs to fly. There's a saying in Spanish: you can dress a monkey in silk, but still a monkey.
can't.
Or you can take a pig out of the pigsty, but it's still a pig.
It is.
So Meghan Markle, look at this woman. She went from the gutter to a royal balcony next to the Queen of England.
On a tour, or where that city she went with
I can't
on the
remember.
train. She took
Yeah.
took the train with the Queen.
Pat,
You
I mean, it doesn't get. And what has she done?
you
She's
selling
back with
jam.
Daniel Martin. She's
Selling
back
jam.
with Daniel Martin and Jake Rosenberg, her former lover, trying
Yeah.
to peddle some skanky jam
Yeah.
of questionable origin.
Ah, girl, you are just you got some serious issues.
Yeah.
How can you?
You
What
got-
would you have done if you had married, let's say, Harry? Okay, forget it. Okay, let's say you marry Harry and you're with the Queen. What would you have
doing
done?
everything they tell me to do. I'm doing everything they tell me to do. I'm not
Absolutely.
complaining, and I'm learning, and I'm asking her questions about Queen Mary and Diana, and asking her all kind of things about history, the presidents, the prime ministers, the kings and queens she's met. Like, I would ask her so much about history. She had a firsthand account to so many moments of history that you would just be just in awe of the things she's seen and thought about that she never mentioned. Like the firsthand accounts of things that you can have her tell you about that has not, because she hasn't given interviews. Like, you had that up and close and personal of an opportunity, and you blow it on such trivial, superficial things. That just shows you how small-minded her brain really is. It's like what I said in my one video, is she's more about the product and not about the people. She's more about the things, the materials, and not about the real substance of humans and care and getting to know people and understand their lives. And just, I don't know, I just think she's really truly missed out an amazing opportunity, and has pretty much a lot of people not liking her.
I think she thinks she's bigger than the game, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
She's not bigger than the game.
She's
but
not
she
bigger than the
is.
game.
She could meet everybody in the world that's running the world, all the most powerful people, and meet all. The world truly could be her oyster, and she chooses to disparage it and think that she's better than all of it.
And you know what, Michael Jordan, there was a quote about Michael Jordan, because he was such a great basketball player, but he always knew he was not bigger than the game of basketball. He may have been big as a player, but he wasn't bigger than the game. Right. And that's what Meghan, where she failed. She thought she was bigger than the royal, the empire, the monarchy, the
She
men in
thinks she's
great
bigger than Hollywood now. She thinks she's bigger than wherever she goes. She thinks she's bigger
she
than the
thinks she's
game.
bigger.
She doesn't
No.
even have. She's bigger than the FDA. She doesn't even have to do the labels properly.
Right.
No, but it's amazing because how she belittles the queen is like Harry's grandma.
Right.
Rinse your mouth. That
Right.
is Queen of England, and then I
Right.
didn't curtsy. So I did a little compilation of Marilyn Monroe. I mean, Barbara Streisand. I mean, all these legends, proper legends, cursing to the Queen. Lady Gaga, Madonna. Madonna. I mean, you would never
Yeah.
expect Madonna to curtsy.
And a good point is when she during the Netflix documentary when she was going to meet the queen and she said to Harry, "Oh, we're going to go meet your grandma. Oh, I love grandmas. I love my grandma." You know how she said that? It's like, woman, it's the Queen of England. Shut your mouth. It's not just a grandmama. Okay, I mean, a name it is, but it's not like you're trying to demean it as just a grandmother. Like she just really in these very offhanded ways tries to make a dig at you in a very like passive aggressive kind of way.
Yeah.
That's I think what is so irritating about her.
Yeah. And then when she did that edit, when she invited herself to be to edit the cover of Vogue in England, remember that she put the most influential women? You would think that she would put the Queen of England there.
Yeah. You would think. But
I
but
was
she thought she was big head. She was like better than them. That's why she didn't do it. And that's
Yeah, when she stands next to any of these people, even Sophie there, she realizes how small she is compared to all these women. That's why she needs to annihilate them because they're all her enemy because she can't stand next to them.
What do you mean? She needs
Share
to
the
put them
space
down?
with
She
them.
needs to put them, is that what you mean? Like she needs to denigrate them or put them down below her level?
Because they're so much better. They're more educated. They have more manners. They have more respect. They're more enlightened. Like there's just so many things. They have more purpose. I mean, they're not. They have a different MO. They have something to do. They don't need to take somebody else's and claim it as it is and disparage
And
it.
they're talented. And they're
talented.
Did you see the booty on Dr. Chandauka? With all due respect, Dr. Chandauka, did you see the booty on Dr. Chandauka? The beautiful body that this lady has.
She's a beautiful woman. I love when I see people like that thriving. I just think the world is better when you see more people that are successful and thriving and healthy and are educated.
Yeah.
And her skin is like, you just feel like want to bite it. Looks like chocolate. And her hair, love her beads, like her braids. Like she's a proud African woman, like highly. Anyways, because we're gone for almost 2 hours and a half, but thank you very much, guys. Thanks to the community. Thanks for PDina
and stickers.
And everything, guys, but mostly thank you for your support. Go subscribe if you're in my channel. Go subscribe to PDINA'S. Go to to Manuela's. I'll leave all their links, and do donate to her charity. I will leave the link to her charity in my video description and also on the pinned comment. So because she's working with kids, and go buy isomers. You keep asking me about my skin. Isomers. I will leave the link there as well, and it's made in Canada. It's Canadian.
Yes. Canadian, and we are an FDA approved site.
There
and
you
our
go.
labels are correct.
There you go.
Have a great Saturday, ladies, and thank you to all.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.